my fellow treasure hunters. Today I'm going to do a video about a Spanish cache site. This is a location that I found accidentally while I was looking for another site. I got into the wrong canyon and found a large monument with a peephole that basically had a view hole in it that looked up at a rock slide. Now there are many silver mines, old Spanish silver mines in this area, and so naturally we assumed that what I had located was a cache site, a place where the Spanish had cached some silver or gold. They couldn't always take everything with them when they went back to Mexico, and they often cached or hid some of their mining ore, whether in bars or in high-grade ore. They often hid this and saved it until there was a large train or until they were making a trip back to Mexico. In fact, from what I understand, there were actually individuals that worked for the miners or in conjunction with them, whether under the direction of the crown or as privateers, that would actually go back and forth between all these mines and take the various ore back to Mexico to either be processed or taken to Spain. Looking at this cache site, this monument, there's a single large, well built monument that has withstood many years. The peephole looks up at a rock slide, and it's basically the only rock slide on this mountain, and the rock slide looks like mining tailings. There are many tool marks, pick marks, chisel marks in these rocks, but as of yet we have not been able to identify the mine that these tailings have come out of. We know it has to be nearby. It's probably covered up, or a lot of these old mines are rock slide or shift and they're covered up. But anyway, this particular cache site, recently I went prepared to give it a look. I took my metal detector with me and a shovel and a few tools, and my intent was to look through the peephole, identify the exact location for a possible cache location in this slide, excavate and see if I could find anything. Well, on this particular day, it was quite a hike up there to the slide. It's very steep. And when I got up to the slide, I could see that it was going to be kind of a dangerous prospect because the land is very steep and there's a lot of loose rock above this area of the slide. Anyway, I metal detected the slide. I took about a half hour and went over it, and lo and behold, the only location that I got a faint signal was right at the very spot where the peephole identified on the slide. And subsequently I found where it looked like there was a series of rocks stacked, and at one time it looks like there was a piece of wood or another rock standing straight up. There was a piece of wood nearby that was about 1.5 feet long that looked like it could have come out of the small stack of rocks as a marker. Anyway, I carefully metal detected around that location in all metal mode, and I got a faint signal. And so I shored up the location as much as I could and started moving rocks out of the way. I got down to mineral earth, and then I dug about a 1 foot deep hole in the dirt. It was very loose and soft. I was really surprised. I thought it was going to be hard and compacted. Anyways, I got down about 1 foot. The rock above shifted and slid down and covered my hole. So once again I stacked rocks and tried to brace things up as well as I could. And this time I turned my camera on and to try to document what I was doing, and I got down this time, got back to my original 1.5 feet into the mineral soil, and then I tried to go out a little bit so that I could go deeper. My hole was getting pretty narrow, so I went out And as I dug out, the whole mountain shifted down and my camera went rolling and rock and debris went over my backpack and I had to kind of dart out of the way.
Well, I think my camera's all right, my phone. The whole freaking side slid down here, about got me, covered up the hole, booby trapped. Whatever's there, I'm getting a signal faint down in the bottom, so it's down there a bit. I don't know if this is a purposeful booby trap they got in here. Is this mine tailings, or if this is just a hot rock, like a metal rock in there. There's a lot of, I did find some rocks with some pick marks, but I'm going to give up because it's too dangerous, it's too unstable. I got too much overburden above me. It'll bury me if I dig too deep. I just can't get out of here fast enough.
And so if the Spanish had cached that in that location, in that slide rock on that steep hill, they did a pretty good job of booby trapping it, because at that point I gave up for safety reasons, and I started exploring the area around to see if I could find any other visual signs or clues. I was looking for the mine. I was looking for any other indications that there was something there. Anyway, I did find a few rocks off to the side. That one rock was stacked, it looked like carefully on top of another rock. And then as I went over to the largest tree in the area, which was not too far away, and parallels, actually on the same level as where I had been looking, there was a large pinyon tree, which is larger than most of the trees in the area. And because I have core sampled these trees in the past of this size, I knew this pinyon tree was approximately 300 years old. And I would like to verify that with a core sample, but it's about a 40-foot pinyon. It's pretty good size in diameter. Along the back side of it, if you go around the back of it and look facing towards where I was excavating, there is a symbol that's been cut into the tree about 18 inches down that looks like it's pointed on one end, it gets wider and narrower, and it curves around, and wider and narrow, and then it curves around and stops at a point. And it's cut all the way through the bark to the tree itself, and the bark is healed. And when I put my hand inside the bark, it comes all the way up to these knuckles, about right there. So it's about 4.5, 5 inches deep, the scar. And you can see at the top and towards the bottom axe marks or hatchet marks on the tree back in the scar. So I know it's a man-made feature. It's not from a falling rock or anything like that, because it's protected. It's turned on the tree to where there no rocks or anything could hit it from the uphill side, and it faces the cache site.
Well, here's an older tree. Got kind of an intentional mark. It's a pretty old tree, old pinyon. This tree's probably several hundred years old. Pinions grow real slow. Here's my hand. See if there's any axe marks on this. It's not lightning. I don't know if it's a cat face. It looks like it's. Yeah, there's some axe marks right there. Right there, axe marks. So it goes a little wider, narrower, wider, narrower, wider, and narrow. So it goes wide, it goes sharp, wide, narrow, wide, narrow, wide, and then point. And then a point. And that's man caused. You can see the, right here, you can see the chop marks right there. It's an old axe mark right there. That's been chopped off right there.
So anyway, and then a friend that was with me found another rock pile or a rock cairn down in the little wash below us. This one was a little more crudely constructed. It wasn't so well made. It didn't seem to be as well made, but it definitely is some kind of an indicator that somebody has been there in the past and had an interest in the area. Well, I'm going to have to go back with some boards and some shoring to be able to solidify, drive some stakes down or brace some beams or posts on an angle to hold back the slide so that I can re-excavate it and get back down and find out what my metal detector was giving me a tone on. And anyway, it's kind of another one of those mysteries from an area that was frequented by the Spanish. We have documented the history. There's another cache site that we have a waybill that's associated nearby. There's also several old Spanish silver mines that are in this area. And there are quite a few monuments that have been carefully constructed. There's one area that they're definite triangulation. And so this mystery continues. If you have any ideas or thoughts on what this might be or anything that you might have found that's similar to this, comment below and let us know what you think.